Dal fry or dal tadka, or sometimes we call it dal double tadka, is one of the most popular dishes in North India. In today's recipe, we are going to learn how to make this easy yet very delicious recipe. Let's start and check that out. So for this recipe, first we will take tur dal, which is also known as arhar ki dal. A full bowl of dal. You can see the texture of dal, these are nice. I am using here organic tur dal. Just take a bowl of tur dal and boil that in a pressure cooker. So I'll be taking a pressure cooker and let's put that in the cooker. We'll add 1.5 cup of water, not enough of water because it will definitely come out from the whistle of the cooker. Let's add salt. We'll be adding very little salt and turmeric. We'll be adding 2 times. The salt will be added 2 times because when you add a lot of salt in the first time while boiling, it just hinders the whole boiling process. I have nicely mixed it together, and hing, which is asafoetida, very little asafoetida here. We'll mix it again, and after mixing it nicely, you can see the water is hot. We'll cover that and wait for 4 to 5 whistles. This is already pressure built. And now we will wait for 4 to 5 whistles to come. So for the first tadka, I'll be using these following ingredients you can see on the screen. So for the first tadka or the first fry, I'll be adding 2 to 3 tablespoons of mustard oil. Once the oil will be hot, I'll be adding cumin seed. You can see the crackling of cumin seed. I've added garlic. And just mix them, let them crackle, let the garlic be nice and brown. I would not say golden brown, but a little more brown. Then we'll be adding the green chilies, chopped green chilies. Mix them, let the chili leaves the flavor, leaves the spiciness to the oil, and then be followed by the finely chopped onions. We'll give it a nice mix and just let everything sweat. And in this recipe, I'll recommend just not sweating is enough. Let's make the onion nice and golden brown, little crisp, which will give our dal a very amazing texture. Now we'll be adding tomatoes. The tomatoes will be cut the same way as the onions, fine cut, and we'll be cooking them all together. Let the onion cook with the tomatoes. Let the tomatoes leave water, everything just leave the flavor. At this point of time, you can see I have added chopped coriander. Adding chopped coriander in between the process of cooking gives a different kind of flavor to the curries, to the dals. It gives a very strong flavor of coriander. Now you can see the dal is nicely boiled. I have not added a lot of water, so you can see the thickness of the dal, the consistency of the dal. You can see the dal grains, the lentil grains, and this is a perfect way of boiling your dal. So now in the same masala which we have just sauteed, I'm going to add dal. All the dal will be adding to the masala, and we'll mix them nicely so that the flavors of the tomatoes, the onion, coriander, the cumin, and the asafoetida just get infused into the lentil. You have to check here the consistency of the dal. If you find it very thick, you can add water, and check the consistency again. Just remember, if you're adding a lot more water, you have to cook that water. You can't just add the water and switch off the flame. It will give a very watery flavor to the dal. So I would recommend, after adding any water, any liquid, you need to boil it on a very low flame, or I would say let it simmer for 4 to 5 or maybe 6 to 8 minutes. And I can see the consistency of the dal is reached. I just need this consistency, and this looks amazing with all the ingredients in the dal. So now I will be adding salt here also. As I told you, adding salt will be happening 2 to 3 times, as while boiling you can't add salt a lot because it stops the process of the perfect process of boiling. Now you can see my dal is simmering. Here I'll be just using a lid and cover it for the next 4 to 5 minutes. In the meantime, we'll be preparing for the second tadka. I'll be taking ghee. You can see the ghee is melted and smoky. I'll be adding cumin here. Just 1 teaspoon this time cumin, because I've already added cumin before. At this point of time, I'll be using sliced garlic, not the chopped garlic. It will be sliced, as you can see here. The garlics have been sliced vertically. Once the garlics are brown, I'll be adding the Kashmiri red dried chili and just let everything get smoky brown. The chilies will be turning from red to little dark red, and coriander at the end. Once the coriander started like frying, we'll just splash everything over the dal, as you can see. And with the same ladle, I would recommend first of all cover that so that the smokiness never escapes, and later with the same ladle just mix it thoroughly so that the flavor again get infused. So you can see everything in. So the third thing here I'll be doing, which is for the rogan, which is for the coloring, will be ghee again. Not that much, but 1 or 2 teaspoon of ghee. And then I'll be adding here the lal mirch, the degi mirch. Nicely mix it and pour over the dal, and give a slight but a very gentle mix like this, and you'll see the rogan starts floating over the dal, and it will give a nice look of the dhaba dal, which we all get on the roadside dhabas. And again, a generous amount of coriander, my favorite ingredient all time. It gives a nice freshness, nice flavor to the dal, to the curries. Give it a mix. So now dal is ready. You can see everything is in, all the ingredients from hing to cumin to coriander to tomatoes, onions, everything is in. The flavor of mustard oil, the flavor of ghee is in. So you can use this recipe, and you can just follow this recipe and make an amazing dal at your places. It's time to plate. Take any bowl, just pour over the dal. So now here there is an option of garnishing it with coriander or maybe some chilies, or you can give a splash of a very little tadka. Again, it's optional. Here I'm not using any tadka on top because I've already used 2 times, and this is looking fantastic, and it will taste divine. Trust me, it will taste amazing. You can see the consistency of the dal. The grains are visible, and this thick, not very runny, and all the ingredients have in. Thank you so much for watching.